Relationships in India are quite complex. In most countries, the couple meet on dating apps, chit chat and travel, move in together, fall in love, have a fight, break up, and repeat this process a bunch of times till they hit rock bottom at 30 and quickly settle down with whomever they can find before their 31st birthday. India, on the other hand, is quite different. I was at a local store once, casually walking around with my protein powder and Gillette Mark III razor blades. Alright, it was Kisan jam and 3 packets of milk bikis. But hey, let's focus on the story. So, I was walking around when I found a cute lady reading the label of a suji rava packet. So, I did the most admirable thing and walked up to her and asked, uh, "Excuse me, miss. I just saw you across the alley and wanted to wanted to know what do you like in a guy." And after about 10 seconds of skepticism and finding my terrible confidence cute, I think the milk picky sold it, by the way. Try doing that with razor sharp blades in your shopping cart, alright? Gillette, sexual. Milk bikis, unisexual. You will never go wrong with it. Anyway, so she looked at me and asked me what's going on, and I said I was simply curious and that it's not a prank. And we started chatting, and after about 5 minutes of talking about the economy and the contents in a suji rava packet, spoiler alert, it's mostly rava, she came to the topic of guys and said that she was looking for a guy who was a postgraduate, lived in the States, belonged to a respected family, and did not drink or smoke. And all this sounds great, but the thing is, I was talking to the mom and not the daughter. Because real Indian men know that it's the mom who holds all the cards in the daughter's dating life, and talking to her is the first step in any healthy relationship. And if these are the demands of a mom from your local store, just imagine the additional demands from her daughter. Most of us know what a red flag is in a relationship. It's a sign that your partner may have issues that need therapy, but you're okay with it because we don't talk about mental health issues here. The best way to define a red flag is by saying, you will know when you see one. Because red flags are highly subjective. Some may find being overly possessive a little jarring, while on the other hand, others, may find the fact that she starts to think of heels and knives whenever you're in an arm's length distance from another girl a huge turn on. But finding red flags in a relationship is not a problem. Trust me, you will have plenty of time to find so many of them once you're married and are on your honeymoon trip. What you really should be worried about are the red signposts. Because in India, there are not just red flags in a relationship, there are red signposts too. And these signposts always come before the flags. While a red flag is just a piece of cloth on a stick which can be very vague and misleading, a red signpost tells you exactly what is wrong with the person. As a child, my parents had this one poster on their bedroom wall that said, "Relationship is like a journey." And as a kid, I didn't understand it because I obviously hadn't been in one. And while nothing has changed now, I've realized that the poster was incomplete. A relationship is indeed like a journey, in the sense that the road does lead you to the girl, but there are so many signposts along the way. The girl might be holding one red flag or many, you will only know once you reach there. And the thing with signposts is that they're so easy to ignore because your eyes are on the destination. Now, I'm using the perspective of a guy because I'm a guy, even though my mom dressed me up as a girl that one time in second standard fancy dress competition, which I won by the way. So, who's the real loser now? Okay, it's still me. But anyway, if there are ladies watching this video, which according to my analytics are a grand total of 3, including my fake account where I pretend to be a girl and fulfill my mom's wishes. So, to the 2 ladies watching this, you can just imagine a guy at the end of the road instead. Rest of the principle's the same, don't worry. And the beauty about these signposts is that it doesn't matter if you're in Mumbai or Guwahati, it's the same everywhere. And the further you travel, the more specific it gets. So the first signpost you get is the most basic. Imagine I'm a guy. I am a guy. For fuck's sake, get out of my head, childhood mom. So, the first signpost you encounter as a straight guy is make sure it's not a dude. Yeah, pretty simple, easy to recognize, unless you're in Thailand and shit faced and going through some real bad breakup, man, in which case you are the red flag. The next signpost you'll be hit with is, does she belong to the same religion? I know, there are some people out there who are like, love has no boundaries. Yeah, tell that to your abba jo nahi manenge. ठीक है? Anyway, this is also pretty simple to judge. Just reading the name will do. Unless she has some really confusing name like Alia, or in case of a guy, Ryan, which is just Rihan but the parents fucked up the spelling. Unless that's the case, you have the right answer in front of you. Now we're done with the basic signposts. We all do this subconsciously anyway. Takes like 2 seconds in your head to get past through them. Which brings you to the next signpost, and that is same caste. Again, you might say your love is casteless, and Ambedkar might agree, But tell that to the UPSC general category guy who failed in his last attempt and his girlfriend left him because she's an SC and still has two more attempts to go. Unless you want that kind of a situation, you need to ensure this signpost is dealt with too. And this is a little tricky because surnames can help you, but it can be very misleading. Take for example an Agarwal. There are like 15 different species of them. Or my example, Bhatt. With a single T you get me, or with a double you get whatever Mahesh Bhatt is. So the recommended way out is to ask her yourself. And not like straight up, hey, I'm Tushar, I like you, but do you have a reservation? No. Very efficient, but not effective. So you have to bring that up as part of your normal conversation. Take as many days as you like, but make sure you're past this to move ahead. The next signpost is, does she belong to the same community? Some people call it subcaste, whatever nomenclature works for you. And since this is intertwined with geography a lot, this also meets the question, does she belong to the same state? Because none of this matters if you are in Bangalore and her family is settled in Hyderabad. Which language will both of your families speak in? Sign? The wedding hall will be quieter than your exam hall, dude. Just a bunch of people flapping their hands around trying to communicate whatever the Panditji is saying. Which brings you to the last signpost. And this is the most subtle, most dangerous, most important signpost of all. You can choose to ignore any of the previous signposts or crash into them for all you like, but make sure you don't go past this without giving it complete thought. And that is family and friends. Yeah, it's not even a question, it's a straight up warning. You have to make sure her family and friends are normal. A very low bar, I agree, but she always has that one family member or that one friend who is toxic as fuck, and if that's the case, tread carefully, my friend. Ask yourself these questions. In case of her family, how strict are they? Too strict to the point you start hating her parents, or too casual to the point you start thanking yours? How rich are they? Too rich to treat you like a driver, or too poor to treat you like a bank? And in case of her friends, how much do they match your vibe? Are they so uptight and boring you wanna take them to therapy, or are they so chill and reckless you wanna take them to court? How much do they like you? Not at all to the point where her best friend wants her to leave you, a little too much to the point where her best friend wants you to leave her. And once you pass these signposts, you will eventually reach the girl who will be holding the actual red flags. And what do they look like? That's a topic for another video.